They say success is built by leaders and geniuses. But sometimes, the true savior of a dream is the one no one ever notices. This is the tale of a school janitor who saved a future brighter than gold. There was once a man named Samuel, a janitor at one of the most prestigious academies in the city. Every day, before dawn, he would quietly sweep the marble floors, scrub the bathrooms, polish the windows, and empty the bins. He was there when the sun rose, and long after the students had gone home. He was invisible to most another shadow in the grand building. Students hurried past him without even learning his name. Teachers nodded politely, but rarely stopped to speak. Parents, when they saw him at events, sometimes whispered, "Poor man. Imagine spending your life scrubbing floors, while others shape the future." But Samuel never complained. He hummed quietly to himself, pushing his mop as though it were a brush painting something unseen. He wore worn shoes and a faded uniform, but inside him was a light no one could see. What no one at the academy knew was that Samuel had once studied engineering. In his youth, he dreamed of building machines that would change the world. But life is often unkind to dreamers. When his parents fell sick, Samuel dropped out of university to care for them. By the time they passed, his savings were gone, his future shattered. He took the first job he could find, a janitor's job at the academy. Years passed. His hands grew rough from scrubbing, his shoulders stooped from carrying trash, but his mind remained sharp. Every time he fixed a broken chair, a leaking pipe, or a squeaky door, he remembered the days when he solved equations and designed machines. He was, in truth, far more than what people saw. Then came the day everything changed. The academy was buzzing with excitement for the annual science exhibition, a glittering event where the brightest students showcased inventions. Reporters were coming. Sponsors, too. The prize was extraordinary. A full scholarship to the best university in the world. It was the dream of every child and the pride of every parent. The great hall had been decorated with banners and lights. Robots stood gleaming, models of rockets filled tables, and circuits buzzed with electricity. Teachers rehearsed their speeches. Parents rehearsed their applause. But just hours before the exhibition, disaster struck. The school's main power system failed. Lights flickered and went out. Machines stopped running. Robots collapsed mid-motion. The once buzzing hall fell into chaos. Panic spread like wildfire. The headmaster screamed at the technicians, "Fix it now. We have guests arriving in 2 hours." Teachers rushed back and forth with candles and flashlights. Parents shouted in anger. Students cried as their projects lay in silence, powerless. One technician threw up his hands. "The wiring is fried. It will take days to repair." The headmaster's face turned pale. "Days, we have hours. The exhibition will be ruined, the academy humiliated. Sponsors will pull out, our reputation destroyed." As chaos boiled, a quiet voice rose above the storm. "Maybe I can help." The hall turned. Standing by the doorway, mop still in hand, was Samuel. The headmaster's face flushed red. "You, stay out of this. We need engineers, not janitors." If you're curious to find out how a janitor could save an entire academy and want to uncover the devastating secret he was hiding all along, watch till the end. Because this is not just a story about fixing wires, it's about fixing how we see people. But Samuel didn't move. He placed the mop against the wall and calmly walked toward the control room. The staff scoffed, but in his eyes burned a strange confidence. His hands, though rough and scarred, moved with precision as he inspected the mess of tangled wires and blown fuses. He touched the circuits gently, as if they were old friends he hadn't seen in years. Minutes passed. Then, with a sudden spark, the lights blazed back on. Machines whirred, Robots stood tall, circuits hummed with life. The grand hall filled with gasps and applause. The exhibition was saved. For the first time in his life, Samuel wasn't invisible. All eyes were on him. The headmaster stammered, "How? How did you do that?" Samuel wiped his hands on his faded uniform and said quietly, "Because before I was a janitor, I was an engineer. I lost everything, but not my knowledge." The silence that followed was heavier than thunder. The same parents who once whispered pity stared at him in awe. Students looked at him with new eyes. Teachers bowed their heads in shame. And from that day, Samuel was no longer just the man who cleaned the floors. He became a mentor. Students came to him with their inventions, not just for repairs, but for wisdom. He taught them not only how machines worked, but how life worked. Years later, when reporters asked the Academy's top graduates who inspired them most, they didn't name famous professors or wealthy patrons. They said, "We learned our greatest lesson from the janitor." The Academy honored him with a plaque in the main hall that read, "Not all who sweep the floor have fallen. Some are simply clearing the path for others to rise." And the moral of the story is, never judge a person by their uniform. True worth is often hidden in plain sight. Knowledge never dies. It waits quietly for the day it's needed again. Because sometimes the man who sweeps the floors is the one who holds the keys to keeping the lights on for everyone else. So tell me, have you ever overlooked someone who might be holding the answer you need? If this story inspired you, share it today, and never forget, greatness often hides in humility.